guess we'll do things a little bit different order. We do have a ton of good news to share. Had another pretty solid week. We're on pace right now to exceed what we did in a 5-week month. July was a 5-week month. We're on pace to exceed that by about 10 to 15%. Obviously, which I'm pretty sure we will. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I want to get into Tori and Josh so they can kind of share their story, give you guys an opportunity to talk to some other people that are winning here in a big way. And you just never know what you'll pick up from these things. So from that perspective, I want to do something really quickly to properly introduce these guys. Sounds like Tori's going to be getting on here in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and do this and we'll come back here. So you got Josh Lowe and you got Tori Haskell. I know I've been posting their pictures and stuff all over our Slack page, but they just succeeded last month in July. I guess it was their best month ever. I'm not going to quote that. I'll let Josh tell that story. But you guys, they were able to exceed. Josh himself issue paid $50,940. And there's only probably 2 people on this call right now or in our entire organization that have come close or exceeded that. So first of all, Josh, congratulations. I know that takes a hell of a lot of work to get that done. And congratulations to you and Tori. I know you guys work hand in hand on achieving senior sales manager. And I know VP is going to get knocked down this month. So congratulations to you guys last month, senior sales manager, $103,019 issue paid. And you knocked out half of that yourself. So
excuse me, Corey, we're supposed to see you.
Yeah, you are. I was just reading something to make sure. Thank you, Gregory. You know how I get with this technology. So okay. I just want to make sure I properly introduce these guys. So Tim, I don't know if you want to come on here and start. So you guys, Tim put this whole thing together. I don't know if I'm correct on this or not, but Josh, in my research, I think you guys are in Michigan. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Okay.
Tori is also she's in the waiting room right now too, if you guys see that. But yep, we're right here in Michigan.
Here we go.
What part of Michigan?
Jackson, so like west of Detroit, south of Lansing.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit, so I was just wondering. Okay, Jackson. Yeah, I know Jackson. All right. Thanks.
It's kind of in the center, isn't it, Josh, of like South Bend and Ann Arbor and Kalamazoo and
kind of. Where you get South Bend
we're
from?
Kind of right in between all of them.
Yeah.
Well, South Bend's
right.
Indiana.
But I was just talking about like that kind of that area. Yeah. Yep. When I worked with a practice company, before, I was in that area a lot. So I'm very familiar with where you guys are at. So are you guys doing a majority of your work there in that area? Or are you guys doing it kind of travel trips and that kind of stuff?
I do the bulk of mine. I run like 3 different zones. I'll like Kalamazoo area, and I'll let my lead stock in Detroit, Wayne County area, and then I'll do Saginaw, Flint area, and then I'll go back to Kalamazoo, and I just keep rotating each week.
I got you. Yep. Got it. So not really travel trip, but kind of travel trips, if you will. It's not crazy travel. Got it. So when we first started, we were taking a lot more travel trips, but we kind of cut it back just a little, just because of the lead types that I'm running. I'm getting super busy right here in Michigan. I'm unable to travel trip right now. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this off.
And Tori, are you there? I think
I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. First of all, about Corey Williams, there she is. I'm like looking for the boxes to see her at. Thank you for joining us today. What I just told Josh, your better half, congratulations on you guys hitting senior sales manager and them hitting basically 51,000 last month. And on behalf of our team, if there's anything that you guys ever need that we can, reciprocate, meetings, that kind of stuff, Tim Bilo and I are just a phone call, and the rest of our leadership just a phone call away. So thank you for being on this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, guys. Good morning.
Absolutely. So where did you guys are part of Conquest, which is Mike Crouch's group, which is growing like weeds. And so how did you guys get started at FFL?
Well, so basically, I was in car sales for 3 years or so, and I had a buddy doing insurance. And long story short, my first year, we made about the same amount of money. His second year, he doubled me. His third year, he quadrupled me. So just with picking his brain for the last few years, I finally said something to Tori like, hey, this is the business to be in. This is what we need to do. I got friends over here who are doing really, really well. Let's check it out. And Mike had already been, he was coming from supplemental, and kind of wanted a new environment as well. And some of the people he worked with were coming over here, and it was just a super easy transition. Once Mike got here, Ron got here, Eric got here to, follow suit and just come on over as well.
Yeah. So talk about that. You guys were, it sounds like you guys were at another supplemental company, or you guys were insuring someplace else, right? And then you transitioned here. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually quit the dealership a few months prior to Josh because I was about 7 or 6 months pregnant at the time. And, just both of us being there just wasn't really working out for a family situation. So I was like, hey, now seems like the time for me. Let me try, something different out, see how it goes for us. And then, we'll have you transition a little later on. And I was selling supplemental business to business, no leads, cold calling, walking into businesses just totally unannounced. And when Mike told me, hey, we're going to go work with Family First Life, you can just buy leads and go help people who want to talk to you about insurance. I'm like, I'm in.
Awesome. So what would you guys say? And I know this is going to be a question. It's probably going to perk up some questions. So guys, let's make sure we make great use of Josh and Tori's time, especially since they're on their way to appointments and put the time in their calendar to talk to us today. A big thing that we hear about leads. I know when I first started, I was thinking, oh my God, people are like, they're filling out these forms and all I got to do is buy the lead and call them. And then you start calling them, you realize you get hung up on, you get cussed out. You're like, wait a minute, you filled out the form. Why are you yelling at me? Right. So what is you guys, anything that you guys can share, and I'm not gonna call them secrets because they're not, but what is it that you guys can share from a perspective of kind of your psychology around buying leads? What leads are you buying? I know you guys are kind of in a rotation. How does that work? How do you set that up?
Go ahead, Josh.
So we kind of run a little different style leads. When we first started, we were just all, final expense. We did some happy agent, some game time a little bit. We wanted to dabble in a little bit of all the leads, just to figure out what works for us and where we're at. And I didn't want to glue myself to one lead type because, I just wanted to figure out maybe this one works, maybe this one does, maybe this one doesn't. So we kind of messed around with all of them. Whereas now we have some mortgage drops. We got a few counties locked down in Michigan. And I'll run about 90% of my business is all mortgages. Tori runs about 50-50, 50% final expense, 50% mortgages. But even when I'm running mortgages, I'm running 3 to 4 different lead types as well, just to make sure that I have a good, range of them to make sure I get my appointments each week.
Got it. Now you're in Michigan, so we're not going to step on your feet. So if you don't mind, mortgage types. I know I've been, Tim and I know a couple of other leaders, we're spending money in places to try to find out, hey, these are great lead sources because we're spread out all over the country. If you don't mind, if I'm not trying to step on your feet here, what lead sources are you guys using? You mentioned Happy Agent. You're probably, I'm not going to speculate. What lead sources are you using?
So for me, Tori handles a lot of our drops. So we have some retro mortgages going. And then we have some call-in golds going. And then I think we have one other, Tori, I believe, right?
We do premiums with Mail Pro. We also have a deluxe order just getting ready to start. So all in all, we do deluxe, premium with Mail Pro, call-in with Mail Pro, and we also do the prepaid drops with Lead Concepts. That's a great company. I really like working with them. So aside from that, all CRM.
And I'll throw another one out to you guys. I'll throw one out to you guys as well. It's called, if you guys haven't heard of them, Nashville Financial, nfleads.com. They're great. Just started working with them. Not very expensive at all. They do mail drop for $500 for $4 or something like that. And just so you guys know, Tori, it's NF Financial. So Nashville Financial, if you look them up, you'll find them. Yeah, they're very easy to work with too. So I know we're constantly trying to move things around if one stops working and all that. So for you guys that don't know, I didn't mean to cut you off, Josh. For you guys that don't know, what you're talking about with the retro leads, etc., they're talking about the system that's already set up here at FFL. You can reach out to them, the leads, or you can reach out to Sasha or one of those ladies. I can get that information to you guys again if you guys need it. So Josh, you're going to say something before I cut you off, so I apologize.
No, I found a new lead type. It's called ARM, the new company. They've probably been around a while, but it's new to us. I just reached out to them as well. They're partnered with Family First Life, but if any of you guys buy these 1, 2, or 3 month old mortgage protection leads, I know Michigan does get them. Some other states like Texas, you might never see one. But the ones with images, those pink cards are ARM. I don't know if you guys have seen those yet, but I've been looking for them and I couldn't find out who was the owner of those pink ones. And to me, that's 90% of my business. We're doing a lot of those drops, but 90% of everything I sell is a 1 or 2 month old lead with image for $9 or $6 from the CRM. And I'm trying to get my own drops from ARM. I just reached out to them and I'm just waiting to hear back.
Where now ARM? What is there? Is that what does that acronym stand for? How would you get in contact with them?
Family First Life.
I actually reached. Yep. I just reached out to them and I said, hey, who does this pink mortgage card? Where can I? Cause I got white ones, I got big white ones, I got full sheet white ones, small square white ones, and then I'm like, who does these pink ones? And I reached out to a few uplines and I said, hey, find out what vendor is this? And they reached back out to me and said, hey, it's ARM Leads. Reach out to them.
Awesome. Okay. Very good. So, Tori, you're doing 50-50. I mean, everybody starts out here, you know, especially if you've never sold mortgage protection or even final expense before, because it is different than selling supplemental. How's your transition? Because it sounds like Josh is 90-10. You started out final expense. What's that conversion or transition been like for you going from more final expense to more mortgage? Because you're obviously drifting towards being full mortgage protection.
Yeah, absolutely. And more so for me than anything, it's just where the leads are at. So I'll travel in my state, you know, within reason to wherever I have to go. So when I started seeing that, you know, instant lead drops, instant amounts were dropping and other lead types were soaring, I'm like, hey, I have to capitalize on what's available. So I've been buying those $2.50 age mortgage protection mailers and I have been loving them. I mean, for the cost, I mean, yesterday they were 35% off. I think I ended up buying like 500 or 600 just to stock up with. It is a steal. And I mean, that's primarily what I've been running the last week and a half. So I would say even, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I was 50-50. I'm more so looking maybe closer to 70%, 30% at this point.
And when you're talking about mortgages, your ticket price is higher too, because you're typically talking 100, 150, 200,000. So, or a husband and wife and those kind of things as well. So you'd say the transition hasn't been that tough going from final expense to mortgage protection? Because a lot of people they're afraid of that. They're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to know all this other stuff and everything else. I'm like, no, it's not complicated at all. Go ahead, Josh. I can see you want to say something.
No, yeah. Just going into what she said, or that is the only reason why she's like 50-50 is just not enough mortgages. So now that we're using those the $2.50 mortgage leads, the age ones, now we have enough to where she could set enough appointments off of it. Before, you know, I probably only get 15 to 20, 1 to 2 months a week, which isn't enough to fill your schedule. So we got to fill with other stuff. And I use more of our drops. So once we keep getting more mortgages, it's so much easier for her to fill that way. We just always fill with final expense no matter what. So we hit our appointment goals.
Fantastic.
It's best to stay versed with both. It really is. Because you don't want to, you know, heavily rely on one and then not have enough leads to work it. Get well-rounded and don't overthink it, guys. It's just taking small pieces out of your presentation that are final or expense related and inputting the mortgage protection stuff. It's really basic. Don't overthink it.
I was training a couple of agents in St. Louis just the other day, and we were having that conversation that came up in reference to final expense mortgage protection. They were like, well, what scripts do you use? I said, look, I try to do things that are duplicatable, especially when we're training. But I use the Facebook 2.0 script. I like that script. And all I've done is tweak certain things in that presentation. So I'd have to learn a whole new presentation. If I'm talking about mortgage, I'll just change it from, you know, burial, final expense to mortgage. I mean, it's not that complicated. I will ask you this though, Tori, when you guys are calling the $2.50, because I bought a ton of those yesterday too. And I've had a ton, I haven't even worked yet, but it was worth it because they're 35% off. When you're calling on those, or door knocking those, I have more luck door knocking than calling them. But when you guys call them, what are you saying when you're calling those $2.50? Because some of them are 5, 6, 7 years old. And I can tell, Tori, you lit up when you started talking about it. So what are you saying to people when you call on those?
Yeah, so I use a script off of, if you go to fflamerica.com/downloads, it's mortgage protection script number 1. If you scroll down, there's an older script model of it. And I've tweaked this a little bit, but it's more along the lines of, hey, Corey, this is Tori. I'm getting back to you from the mortgage protection office here in Jackson County. How are you today? And with this lead type, I'll ask them, how are you today? You know, I'm going to be a little more personable. There's not many people calling these people. So how are you today? Perfect. I'm good too. Thank you for asking. Corey, you probably won't remember this. I would actually be a little surprised if you did. But back when you financed your mortgage, you had filled out a card, signed it, and then sent it back into my office. And you were basically looking for information on a plan that'd pay off the mortgage in the event of death or make the payments if you became disabled. And my office went through an audit recently and realized that we actually never contacted you guys to get you the information. Now, I'm one of the managers here and I've been reassigned to your case, but I'm just needing to verify that the information I have is even still up to date. Looks like we have you living at the 123 Success Lane. Is that right?
That's right.
Perfect. Perfect. So, Corey, what they're having me do is being dispatched to the area tomorrow to do a quick 10 to 15-minute eligibility with you. Now, are you still working full time or are you retired or disabled?
Right.
Working. Perfect. And then just from there, continue to close your script just like you would any other appointment.
That's
But
awesome.
just setting it up that way, letting them know right away, hey, you probably won't remember this. And you're just kind
Right.
of trying to avoid some of the objections of, well, I don't remember that. Where are you calling from? Get it all out there. That way it's just on the table.
And Paul McLean has a beautiful script that's very similar. I mean, it's almost word for it's probably Paul and Andrew's script, but very similar to that, guys. And there's some keys in there. I hope you guys heard her mention. You're diffusing that bomb before it goes off. You probably don't remember this. We did an audit at our office, you know, etc. That was fantastic, Tori. That was nails. That's awesome. Before I take over, and I know because I can sit here and talk to you guys all day because I've already got like half a page of notes already. How in the world do you write $51,000 in a month?
Honestly, honestly, it sounds crazy, but I could have did more. I didn't work one Sunday, and I only worked Saturday twice out of the 5. And you know, each day I would tell Tori, I'm like, I had 3 or 4 window slots in each run day where I could have filled with somebody that I didn't. You know, and it sounds crazy. When I first started this business, I seen a few people making $100 grand, and I'm like, there's no way I can do that. You know, that's 1 or 2 people doing it. It's not possible. Well, then I seen 6 people do it, then 9 people do it, and I'm just like, well, if they're doing it, I can do it. And if I just got to copy what they say, I'm just going to do that. So now I have in my brain of I can do 100K if I have enough appointments, and that's all that matters because it's easy when you get in home. So for me, I have it in my brain like if I just work hard enough and set enough appointments, I will accidentally run into enough money, which is what happened. I didn't even know that I was going to hit 50K. I had no clue. I just planned to set 10 appointments every single day and go and help as many people as I can. And it got me to halfway to my goal. So now it's, well, listen, if I only work X amount of hours each day and I only ran so many appointments, I have solid numbers on how many appointments did I get, how many sit downs did I get, how many did I close, how many no-showed me, to where I'm like, if I just double production, I'll easily get that in the same 4 or 5 week span.
That's
that
beautiful. So it's, I mean, everybody thinks when you see these numbers, it's like, oh my God, which that's very impressive, by the way. Congratulations to you guys again.
Thank you.
You see these numbers, you're like, holy cow. And then every time you hear a top performer speak and they start talking about their 30, 40, $50,000 a week, they're like, I could have done more. Like it was just, I just had an appointment set, right? Just buying enough leads. So I know we have some of our team, and I just know this just from experience and everything. They buy leads and they squeeze the life. I mean, it's a Python grip on the $2.50 lead, or, oh my God, I paid $9 for this lead and they got it in a rear naked choke, right? And they're not going to let go. And they're going to call these people 97 times until they answer the phone and they sit with them. What is your advice on that? Tori's smiling. Tori, go first.
Oh yeah.
Buy more leads, baby. Buy more leads.
Yeah.
Always buy more leads. I ring my dry and I use phone burner to make sure that, hey, if I'm not getting someone, they're at the bottom of the pile every single time if needed. But to not have fresh opportunities, guys, you're cutting yourself short and you're going to start beating your head off a wall. Your time is worth more than that. And as you grow into this position, you'll start to realize that, and you'll start weighing the numbers on, hey, I need leads. It's not worth it to sit here and dial all day like that. I'm going to make more of my time just by buying more leads, and which is going to put more money back in your pocket.
Yeah. And psychologically, when you're calling on a brand new stack of leads, mentally, as opposed to calling these people, I've called this person 9 times. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll answer on the 10th, maybe they won't, but chances are they probably won't. You're just in an activity mode as opposed to being, building your business, if you will. Go ahead, Josh.
For me, we do things a little different. So I'm a firm believer because I do run a lot of mortgages. The mortgages that come into our CRM, a lot of you probably know this, when they come in at a $9 lead, that means one other person has that as a drop, whether it be $36, $72, or $81, right? So that means only one other person has the original lead. And if you buy a 1-month-old and you're the next person who buys it, well, now you're the second person and you're the only person who has that lead for 30 days until it turns into a 2-month-old lead. So for me, if I don't get a hold of somebody when I first get it, I'm going to call them next week. And then I'm going to call them the next week. And then I'm going to call them the next week because, again, I'm the second person with that lead unless they filled out a bunch of those mortgage cards, but I've yet to get a duplicate 1 month. So that means Family First Life isn't populating the same 1 month in there, which is good. So then when you buy it as a 2 month, there's only 2 other people with that lead. So I always buy new leads every single dial session, but I will always go back to my older ones in those zones and follow up with them for weeks to come. They're just not priority anymore. I
Makes
always
sense.
put my new leads as priority, and I don't want to leave them out because I didn't get a hold of them. That's not a bad lead to me.
Right. Quick question, and then Tim's thinking up there, so we might be losing you a little bit, Josh. We still got you, buddy? Okay, there you go.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So let me ask you guys this one. I don't know how much of this you're doing or you're not. What about door knocking? I mean, you guys set a very high level of appointments. Obviously, it's clear. Do you guys do any door knocking on those leads? Or Tori, looks like we may have lost Josh. So.
Oh yeah. So absolutely, Josh and I could speak on his behalf on this one. I know we both door knock, and you know, when I was new, the thing about door knocking is it's kind of like something that you don't want to just suddenly pick up one day and say, hey, okay, now's the time to door knock while I'm out in the field. It's something like, hey, be prepared, know who you're going to door knock in your downtime, set some people aside, have 10 or 15 people that you know that you're going to be in that area. And if you get no-showed, you can pop in and door knock them real quick. Cause I usually set, you know, anywhere between 3-4 appointments a week just on door knocking. And it's a great way to get in front of people as well as fill that white space in your calendar if you're not, you know, out meeting with people. So don't sit at the parking lot, don't go to the mall, go door knock. It'll make you money and it will help you resolve those leads that you're sitting there calling 10 or 15 times.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Everybody probably door knocked somebody and you got there and they go, I filled that form out 2 or 3 times and nobody ever came to contact or came to see me. It's like, no, you didn't answer the phone. You're probably a jerk to somebody when you answered the phone. So it is what it is there. So I got like 10 more questions, but I want to spin this out to ask if any of you guys have any questions for Tori and Josh. And again, thank you guys. So this has been gold. It really has been. Tim, you got anything?
One of the things that I noticed about, and I'm gonna kind of go back in time on Tori and Josh here real quick. But guys, when my first full month here was October, and I remember seeing Tori sitting there, baby in hand, on her lap on dial day, making phone calls. I mean, you know, no excuses there. So I mean, so I've always remembered that. And then, you know, going back to Josh, met him down in Boca Raton, and you know, the guy was just hungry, and you can tell they're both hungry and they're wanting to learn. But just to see that progression that they've done over the last 8-9 months is, you know, just been outstanding. And so, yeah, my hat's off to you. And obviously they've got the verbiage, they've got the lingo down. So it's obvious why they're posting the numbers and their teams are growing like they're growing. And I'm gonna steal a word from Hamadi that I've used religiously over and over again, is being super intentional with your time. And just what she was talking about, door knocking, you know, don't just fly out there. No, when do you start the day? When you have it finished, you know, the night before. So that's all I got. Just excited to have you guys on there on here.
Awesome.
And well,
thanks, Tim.
Just to add
Hey
to
guys,
the door
we're gonna
knocking, guys.
go ahead, Josh. Yep.
I just want to add to the door knocking, just something I do with it. So one thing we have with our team is, like Tori mentioned, you really don't know when you're going to get no-showed or porch. You have no clue. So for me, I'll take my leads, and anyone, you know, that has a missed phone number or, you know, I didn't get a hold of, I'll just hurry up and look in the area in between appointments and try and catch whatever house is in the area that I've just got no-showed or missed appointment. And, you know, I don't know if you guys got those tags. You can get them right on Family First Life, the little door tags. Those are really efficient, saying, hey, we missed you, leave your information, try and get callbacks that way. But the real thing for me that I tell my team is if you set enough appointments, you won't have to spend a whole day door knocking. I don't find that efficient. You know, but if you set 7 or 8 appointments, you may be able to squeeze out 1 to 3 to 4 door knocks, depending on how your day goes. You know, just drum up any business, which has helped us a ton.
Absolutely. Any other questions, guys, for Tori and Josh? We're about 30 their time. So go ahead, Kevin.
Congratulations. I love seeing your success. So the difference between the mortgage leads, like the age $2.50 and the $9 leads, and then the CRM instant internet leads, do you buy a different number and treat them differently in the sense of how determined you are to get hold of them when they physically filled it out versus just filled something out online? And how many leads do you actually buy a week?
I start. So for me, with mortgages, sounds crazy. I buy every single one of them in Michigan. I don't care the county. If there's 40 1 month, I'll buy every single one of them. And if there's 10 in Kalamazoo, 10 in Saginaw, 10 in Detroit, each week I'll let those zones pack up till I get enough to run them and fill with any other age mortgage protection in that area, just so I have enough, basically. But it's, for me, the reason why I really love the mortgages is more husband and wives, but two, I'm the only one with that lead if it's an image lead. I'm the only one with it other than the original drop person, which gives me much more time to get a hold of that person versus a final expense. They're already getting called by health insurance. They're getting called by life insurance. They're getting called by warranties. I mean, they're getting absolutely blown up. So it's harder in my brain sometimes I'll call them 16 times. I don't care for final expense. But if they don't answer after 16 times, that means they're taking nobody's calls. So with mortgages, I feel like no matter what, I always seem to get a hold of them within 3 week span. Either, no, already got it. Somebody already came and seen me. We said no to it. Or I actually sit with them and set an appointment. Tori may be a little different though.
I treat them all the same, but I buy so many. I try to come into each dial day with minimally 60 to 100 leads. If it's a cheaper lead, I'll just stock up on more of them because it's better to have more than not enough. And it can always trickle over to the next dial day if I have leftover. But as far as how I dial them, I'm going to dial every lead 3 times through every single time. It's just while I'm sitting there dialing that lead, I usually buy so many that if I don't dial that person 3 times at that time, I may not come back to them because I just have so many stacks to get through. So, that's maybe my not being diligent enough on getting through some of these people. But again, where my time is really valuable to me and I'm just going to buy more leads. I'm not going to sit there and dial a person 12 times over. I'm just going to buy a new one.
So really quick, guys, hopefully, because I know we got some new people on here, 2 things that they just dropped, 2 pro tips, if you will. Phone burner. Phone burner will 10 extra dialing. Straight up, period. We got a 30% discount that Family First has put in place for us. We have a liaison named Caitlin that actually will help you through the entire process of trading videos and everything else. The second thing is you guys just heard it mentioning over and over and over again. Tori mentioned 60 or more leads. Josh is probably going to say the same thing. Is that
minimum
per lead session or is that per dial? So that's 60 per dial session. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to make sure that there was a clear distinction so people understand that.
I dial my leads a little different. So with final expense, I triple tap everybody right away the entire day. I'll call you 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, 3 times at night until I get a hold of you. With mortgages, I call you 1 time in the morning. I call you 1 time in the afternoon. I then will call you 1 or 2 times later in the night, but I'll leave a voicemail and send a text. So it's with mortgages, the reason why I'm not bombarding them is because, again, I'm the only one calling them, if not one other person, unless they filled out 6 mortgage cards and other companies outside of Family First Life are calling them. So I just treat them a little different and kind of like we did in our scripts. The, final expense script is monotone, flat line, a little more straight. You guys know that. You've heard that. Whereas I'm a little more happier, chippy. Hey, how are you doing today with mortgages? Because now I'm like, hey, I'm the only one calling you. How are you? I'm coming to help you. I got your stuff in front of me. But yeah, easily no less than 70 leads. Sometimes I like to go over 100 just because I don't know how my headset's that day, if I'm on point, if I'm not doing so well. So the more the merry.
And to kind of go off of that, guys, the numbers vary for everyone. And as your skill level increases, you won't need as many leads to set your goal on your dial day. But what I tell my team is when you're new, you have to be willing to make up in numbers and areas where you lack in skill. So meaning if you're not able to set 15 appointments off the 50 leads you have, you need to buy more leads or get out there and door knock. So, again, putting the activity up in places where necessarily you can't make it work in other areas. So don't be afraid to get out there, buy more leads. If you're every dial day, if you're coming to 12, 13 lead or appointments and you just feel like you're short, buy more leads, buy 10 more leads, 15 more leads. That's your way to get to your goal, and you'll really thank yourself for it. Go ahead, Josh.
So one thing we tell our team a lot is, guys, everyone has a budget. Everyone here does. Even when you're brand new, not everyone can come in with 3,000 to throw at a week, and we get that. However, as you start selling, start putting more into your lead pool, because a lot of my team, I'll tell them, hey guys, if you spend 250 on leads and you only get 30 leads, you're right. Our average sale is $1,000. You only need to sell one, but you're giving yourself 30 opportunities to sell that one versus 100 opportunities. So it sounds crazy. Spend $300 or spend $1,000. You spend $1,000, you get over 100 leads. You still only need to sell one to make your money back. So it's, if you put the numbers in your favor when you're new, you will find more people who want this coverage, because you're going to struggle a little bit until you get the lingo down. The learning curve is small. Some people are quicker than others. Other people take a little longer. It's different for everyone. But in general, if you always have enough leads, you should hit your appointment goals better. You just get more appointments, and you may not have to spend as much on leads. But if you keep your same lead flow, now you're just making that much more money and that many more appointments.
Awesome.
Also really helps guys with the mentality of dial day. I mean, it hurts a lot less when you start getting those no's, when you know you have a stack of leads to get through, that it doesn't really matter. As where you only come in with 20 leads, that one no hurts if you only have 20 leads, right? So that's another thing too, is just keeping the mentality right during dial day and keeping the emotion out of it. Take your emotion, set it aside, and don't let it play any factor into what you say or do your entire day. The biggest thing that differentiates top producers from new people is time in between dials. So meaning like that new person, they're going to get hung up on or yelled at, and they might take 15 or 20 minutes to scroll through their Facebook and kind of dwell on it. And then they're going to pick the phone back up. Whereas a veteran or someone who's more seasoned, they're just going to keep dialing. And don't let the time in between dials eat away at your dial day. Protect that dial time and keep going.
You got to think of it like this. If you use phone burner, it's automatically going to the next call right away.
Don't
You
have
don't
time.
have time to wait.
That's what I was telling
boom,
Tim
out of the
yesterday. It does not let you stop. Yeah. Right to the next one. Awesome. Guys, any other questions? We're 30 minutes in, and this is fantastic. Gregory, got a question?
Yes, Josh Tori, great job. I really enjoyed the training today. Thank you so much. My question is, I haven't really messed with the mortgage protection. Been a little confused with age leads, 1 month old lead, 2 month old leads, silver leads, all of that. So, and I know you said you used 1 month, 2 month, and the age leads and all of that. What is the difference in the silver and the other ones, or what is the one that I should really just be concentrating on starting out in mortgage protection leads? Thanks.
So great question. And I was scared of mortgages, and I didn't know what types neither. So with the 1, 2, and 3 month leads, there's image ones, and then there's 1, 2, and 3 month without image. I think all of them are good. It just depends on your strategy. So me personally, this isn't a strategy I like to have everyone use, or even tell everybody, because it does not work for everyone. But when I have a 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month old mortgage protection lead, that is an actual physical card that comes to the mail to this person, that they handwrite their information on, put it back in the mail, and it comes back to the company. So I take a picture of that. I take a picture of my badge. I attach my state license, and I send a picture with a pre-prompt script that says, hey, my name is Joshua Lowe. I'm the mortgage protection underwriter who's been assigned to your card. Is this your correct handwriting and information? I'll be out your way tomorrow at 9 a.m., 10 p.m., 9 a.m., noon, and 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. to get you this information. If none of these times work, please give me a call. And then I will wait a little bit, and people either respond back to me via call, or I call them later in the day, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I was working, I seen that. Or the times you listed didn't work for me. But with those style leads, they can't tell me they didn't fill it out because it's their handwriting. And they always tell me, oh, yes, I did do that. Now, with the non-image leads, it's no big deal. You can still just call them with a normal script. I just personally like to send that text message so that when I call them, we're looking at the same form. And there's no discrepancy of who filled it out, where'd you get my information, stuff like that. Now, with the call-in silvers, those there's call-in golds, and that's what me and Tori are running. Same process. People get a card in the mail, and on the back of it, there's some prompts. I think it's 10 steps. If they complete all 10 steps on the back, it turns into a gold lead that I think cost me, what is it, Tori, $30-something, $36? Something like that. And then that's a gold lead. Now, if they miss one step on that, if they fill out 9 out of 10, that turns into a silver lead and goes into our CRM as a silver lead for a few bucks.
Okay.
And it has all the information, minus they might not have put their phone number in twice, or they maybe didn't put their height and weight. So it's still a really good lead, and you can use the same script on it. They just missed one prompt, that's all. And then the age mortgage protection mailers, now the reason why we think those are gold is because those were never 1, 2, or 3 month leads in the CRM. So yes, they're 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, but somebody may have never contacted them and they've never been in Family First Life other than at the $2.50 leads. So from Family First Life side of it, we're the only ones calling them except the original people. Tori's script is great from Paul. I just set the expectation when I call those people, like, hey guys, you actually filled this out a few years ago. I just wanted to reach out, being one of the managers over here, making sure you got the information you requested a while back and or got the new information on these new programs. Did somebody make it out to you? So any with the age ones, I just set the tone like, hey, no big deal. If you got the information, awesome. Do you want to see the new programs? If not, cool. If you didn't get the info, hey, I'm going to come out and show you all this cool new stuff that may be available to you now. So I think all of them are good. I just personally, any of them with an image are my go-tos. There's just not a lot, and there's not many of them in a lot of your guys' states. So that's a hard lead for people to glue themselves to if you guys can't even get your hands on them, which is one of the main reasons why I stay in Michigan, because I am bombarded with them every week. I can pick up 30 to 50 of them, whereas when I look in Texas, I'm yet to see one. I'm yet to see them in Arizona too. So it really is just state specific on those mortgage lead types. Hopefully that answered your question for the most part.
Yeah, it did. So one more thing on with the image, you send the text and the card, picture of the card first before you call them?
Yeah. So that is just
Okay.
my personal strategy. I know Dan Lehane's been doing it too, and it works for him, but Tori's tried it and it doesn't work very well. Mike Crouch has tried it and it didn't work very well for him. But I will actually drop it down in the box, my actual script I use and like the
Okay.
picture that I send. But I just personally think it's a lot smoother conversation when I call them. Hey guys, did my text message come through? That mortgage card I sent you sent over to my office? Oh yeah, Josh, I did. Awesome, guys. Is all the information correct and up to date? Actually, it is perfect. Well, hey guys, I'm out your way tomorrow. Did any of the times I have listed work? It's just completely different. It's not a script anymore. It's a conversation. You know what I mean? So I find a lot of success with that just from being here, even if it's a 3-month-old lead, no big deal, you know?
Okay.
So that's fantastic. If you guys are getting any good guys, I know we got a bunch of stuff going on, probably a lot more questions. If you guys want to put them in the chats. Also, if you guys want to drop Tori and Josh some sevens in the comment box, just to try to give them some kudos, there would be much appreciated. 777s there would be great for lucky sevens. Any other questions, guys? I want to be respectful of the time. Go ahead, Mark, you're up, bud.
Okay, quick question. First off, congrats on your success to both of you. And in particular, Josh, I run 90% mortgage protection as well, and I really appreciate the insight on the logistics of how these leads are put into the CRM and whatnot, because I like the pink cards too, and it's good to know the whole process now. So thank you. My only question, to keep it short, what kind of staff are you running? Part-time, full-time, and office setup? How are you guys doing that?
Yeah, well, thank you. Appreciate the kind words. We have a office admin, Jamie. She handles all our behind the scenes. And with Mike, we have another partnered office admin named Jordan. They do all our recruiting, all our contracting, all of our getting them through processing. Then once they're done with that, then they have full reign with me and Tori. I also have a dialer. She dials for me around the clock, sets appointments for me. I don't pay her a crazy amount, but she'll make between $300 and $600 a week. My pay structure is different. If you guys are interested in looking into that, I don't recommend, this is my personal preference, I do not recommend getting on Google and finding a dialer overseas for $3 an hour. I mean, some of these leads are pretty expensive. I got on Facebook and I looked for somebody who worked in a call center, and that's all they did was call people around the clock. And she's been great for me. And it just takes the pressure off me, making sure I get my appointment goals each time. But we will be adding another office admin just to really handle more bookkeeping, client retention, follow-ups, carrier issues, stuff like that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Great question, Mark. Very, very good question. Well, Josh and Tori, I wanted to keep this at 30, be respectful of your time. We're 40 minutes in. Honestly, this has been absolutely fantastic. Just some of the gems that you guys have dropped on us today. Hopefully our team has gotten to see a bunch of sevens popping up on the screen. So much appreciated. If there's anything we can ever do, everybody always has those things that they do well. We're always willing to jump on you guys' calls or do whatever we can. I know Mike, I talked to Mike actually quite a bit. So if there's anything we can ever do to help conquest you guys, we appreciate it. Congratulations on your $51,000 last month. I know Tori had a lot to do with that as well. Tori, congratulations to you. You guys are one of the new power teams here, power couples, you should say. Congratulations on senior sales manager. And I know VP is probably right around the corner. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good,
Thank you guys so
Have a
much.
good
If there's
Friday.
any other questions you guys have, feel free to ask. If not, we'll let you guys jump back into your meeting. We appreciate you guys having us on and letting us talk with you and just kind of share some of our information as well. So, well, here, let me drop my number in here too.
Yep, just
Thank
got
you
my
guys
number in
very
the chat,
much.
guys.
We'll grab them off of there. I'll shoot
Yeah.
you guys a
Wait a
text.
minute.
Each
Tori,
other's- Yeah.
Tori and Josh, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
Are you guys Michigan or Michigan State?
Oh, God.
Michigan.
You guys gonna hate me. I'm Ohio State.
Oh my God. Oh. Tori,
Hey, Josh,
I
you'll
think I heard Tori
appreciate
said
this.
Michigan though. Tori,
Yeah,
you said
go
Michigan, right?
blue. Go
I-
blue.
Yes.
George,
Yes.
I have an Eddie George Heisman autographed, fully replicated with the authentication with him actually signing it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Very cool. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Worldwide,
awesome.
Worldwide, Good Life, and Genesis, if you guys would stay on this, that would be great, just for another couple minutes. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Tori.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thanks for
You
having
too,
us.
guys. Be safe.
Yep.
Hey, that was great.
Hey, guys.
Reload.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great. That was fantastic. All right. We got a couple minutes, guys. I only need you for about 5. Thank you guys for staying on. For those of you guys that have, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen very quickly. And then they also, if I don't know if you guys saw this, they put a couple things out there. So I'll put these out there on Slack so you guys have them. That's the first thing at the top here you can see is Josh's script. That's the first thing. And then Tori put a link out there, which I copied as well. So I'll put all that stuff on Slack for those of you guys that are driving or maybe didn't see it. So very quickly, I'm going to go through this very quick, but I also want to give recognition where it's due. Yes,
Can I let me throw this in here for about 15 seconds?
absolutely. Go ahead, Tim.
Guys, I'm telling you, that couple is 24. She's 24. He just turned 29. And when I first met them, Josh, back in January, he did not even sound remotely like this. I mean, guys, I'm just telling you, it just goes to show what staying diligent, becoming a student of this thing, and just watching videos. So I talked to him this morning. He's, man, all I've done is just watched a ton of videos and just got into the activities. He said, I screwed it up royally in the beginning, but look at them now, 25,000 between the two of them just last week. So anyway, back to you.
No, Tim, that's well said. And you picked a great one to have on. Thank you for doing that. And thank you guys
Yeah, great job, Tim.
for
Thank you.
asking questions, because it's important, and the things that you pick up from that, right? I picked up a ton of things that I didn't even know or even thought to do. That's why these things are good to be on and learn. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys sticking with us too. So Amy, anything that you'd like to add from an administration standpoint before we get through this in the next 3 to 5 minutes?
Nope.
Perfect. All right. So our grand opening in St. Louis, we're starting to have a lot more activity in the office. Sean and several others. So this will be updated. We'll be there. So if you guys haven't had a chance to meet, I don't know if Dave will be there or not, but if you haven't met Dave, if you haven't met Eric Hamadi, if you haven't met Todd Hausberger, those guys have confirmed. They've messaged me, so they'll be there. So, and then there'll be other people. There'll be a training and all that kind of stuff there as well. But the office is coming together. We're getting it decorated. We're getting it badged up and all that kinds of stuff. So it looks pretty good. I have to say so myself. It looks really good. So looking forward to some of you guys I haven't seen in person to potentially being there. Nothing you have to be at, but just want to let you know everybody on the team is obviously invited, and we'll be coming up doing some things there as well. I posted it a couple times. You guys will see it daily. You'll start to see it every single day. We're putting together a monthly training, which is going to be that same week of the grand opening of our office. It'll be the 21st and 22nd. The leadership team, Tim and Mark and a couple of the other guys had a great idea, and I'm helping them run with it. We're going to do a 1.5 day training where you get to come in, you get to break bread with some of your teammates across the country. You get to do trainings like the one we just had, but it's not just going to be sitting and listening. It's going to be a practical training. So we're going to be doing dials. We're going to be practicing on door knocks. We're going to be working on some of the things that we just did and talk about on a weekly basis. So all are welcome. Like I said, there'll be food, there'll be, training. We're going to do an activity and those kind of things. And that's going to be held every single month. But the sooner you get there, I think it might spark some of you guys to start changing, kind of your paradigm of what you're doing and keep moving yourself forward. Tim, I'm glad you mentioned, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask, I must have missed it. Is it the 21st and 22nd is the grand opening?
Great
21st,
question.
22nd of this month? Or what?
No, September. I'll make myself more clear. Thank you, Roger. The 20th of September is the grand opening. The next level training, which will be held monthly moving forward, is going to be September 21st and 22nd. It will start, and you guys will see more information. I'm having a flyer put together, but I'm posting it out there. Obviously, we need you guys to RSVP because there will be a 3-ring binder that you'll be able to take home with you and continue to build, and those kind of things. Take your notes and all that, and pass to your new agents for those of us that are building teams. So 20th of September is the grand opening. 21st and 22nd will be the next level training. All right. Thanks, Roger. Any more questions, guys? Just shout them out. You guys know this. We talk about this weekly. The reason I put this out here is because there's people that still ask me every single week, when do we have our meetings? I had somebody tell me the other day they didn't know we had meetings, which I thought was strange because I thought I overposted, but clearly not enough. So Monday night at 7, we do a phone training. We try to go from 7 to 7:30, 7:45. You can ask whatever questions you have. If there's objections that you're having that you can't get around, I tell you what's been great is a lot of the times I'll just kind of put things out there, and the teammates that are on the call start talking about the objections they're having and start working through them themselves, which is amazing. So it's not just coming from me because I'm only have one brain. If there's 8 of us on there's 8 different people that can help us work through those things. On Wednesday, if you're building a team, 8 a.m., it'll be the same time every week. We get on and we go through the entire recruiting process to help you bring people on. If you have somebody that you're interested in talking to, or you want to talk to them about our opportunity, guys, I'll do practically the whole thing for you. But you still need to understand the process so you know how to help your new teammate through the process to help get them writing as quick as they can. Today's meeting Friday, probably one of the best ones that we've had from a content standpoint. Josh and Tori absolutely killed it and are growing an agency, and which is really cool to see as well, having young people be able to do what they're doing. So that's that. So that's our Friday. That's what we're on today. Sundays, for those of you guys that are new or need to get back to the basics, Velocity puts on a new agent training. And even though it's called a new agent training, sometimes it's good just to jump on and hear some things you've gotten too good now and you forget to do those little small things. That's what that meeting's for. I try to jump on at least 3 out of the 4 weeks. There is some good content on there as well. And of course, the dial days, because I had somebody ask me just the other day, they didn't know when the dial days were. Again, I thought we overshared, but maybe we didn't. Mondays and Thursdays are dial days. So 7:30 Central, you'll have people that are from all over the country with Velocity that are on, and these people are doing 20K or more per month, every month, month in and month out. So you get to hear what they're saying so it can be duplicated. You heard Tim mention about Josh a few minutes ago that all he's doing is getting on and listening to videos on YouTube. We all have the same access to the same videos, and you can see what it's done for Josh and Tori's organization. All right, so on to the recognition. So strings. So we're going to start at the bottom here. And when I mean that from a numerical standpoint. So we got Mr. Anthony Jones is now on a 2-week string, protected the family yesterday. Gregory Pitts is on a 3-week app string, which is fantastic. Well done, Gregory. Joey Richard, 3 weeks. Destiny at 3 weeks. Stacy at 4 weeks. Brian Smagala is at 4 weeks. That's awesome. Jeremiah Drobny, 4 weeks. Kevin Gilbert, way to go, sir. 5 weeks. Mariana Bilo just stepped over her 5th week. Kathy Libra, 7 weeks in a row, she's protected the family. Excuse me. Renee Barker, 16 weeks in a row. Absolutely fantastic job, Renee. And your placard is, I got the name the other day. It looks like it's going to be coming in the mail, so you'll have your trophy very soon. Let's see. We got Mr. Tim Belos at 26 weeks. And I'm going to go over something really quick with Tim. I don't think Brad's on, so we'll skip past that. But congratulations to Tim and to Brad for both going over 26 weeks in a row on their string. And Mark continues to lead the charge at 30 weeks in a row. So I'm going to read something to you guys very quickly from a number standpoint. Brad, even though he's not on, $71,432 submitted with 36 families protected. Brad did have an annuity for $250K. So 25,000 out of that was out of that production, if you will, was that annuity. Job well done. Tim Belo, last 13 weeks, $73,437 with a total of 63 families. 60 families protected. Tim, my friend, absolutely fantastic job. Just think of all the lives and the families that you protected. I know it seems like such a nominal things. We go out and we get beat up on the phones. We go out, we help families, the ups and the downs of this. But Tim, to go out and do that over that consistent amount of time, I mean, it's a half year. Literally, it's a half a year that you've gone out every single week, rain, sleet, or snow, and protected those families. So my hat's off to you, brother. 73,437, 63 families protected, and you will have a tumbler coming your way as well. I know you drink just as much coffee as I do, so well done there. Congratulations, Tim. And 15 people on strings, guys. That's our second most that we've ever had. We've been up to 17 at one point, and I know we'll exceed that next week. In reference to numbers, pretty solid week last week. We'll start at the bottom numerically here. You got myself down there, Stacy Losing, 241, Joey Richard, 369, Anthony Jones, 606, Destiny Stancher, 613, Kathy Libra, 951, Jeff Scott, 1592, Sharice Basie, 1896, Jeremy Koch, 2205. There's Gregory Pitts here, 2,500, 3 families protected. Anthony Stancher, 2532. Way to go there, Kevin, with those 2. Tim Belo, 2840. Braden Cox back in the mix at 2882. Jeremiah Drobny, $33,074. 2 families protected. Way to go there, Jeremy. Renee Barker, always in the top 10 every single week, 3837, 3 families protected. Mariana, very solid week, a 4576. And if you keep up on that pace, this will be your first $20,000 month, which will be fantastic. 3 families protected. Brian Smagala, 4866, 2 families protected. Kevin Gilbert, another absolutely fantastic week, on pace for well over 20K again. 5390, 5 families protected. Brad Sherman, 5454. And again, his 26 weeks, $71,432 with 36 families protected. Another great week from Brad. And then always number 1 or number 2 every single week, Mark Williams, building, growing, just doing everything he needs to do to continue to build their mark. And good life, way to go. 8294, 5 families protected. Top 3 from last week. There's Mark there at 8294, as we just mentioned. Number 2, Brad Sherman, 5454. And rounding us out, top 3, obviously will be another 20K producer again this month, Kevin Gilbert at 5390. In reference to our top 10, we'll do the top 5 right now since this is the first week of the month. Top 5. Mark Williams there at 4203. These are issue paid premiums, by the way. Gregory Pitts, fantastic. It's the first time you've been in the top 5. Well done, my friend. 4404. Tim Belo, 5109. Renee Barker, 5868. And Kevin Gilbert, 8975. On pace for $40,000 for the month. Last week, we're technically the first week of the month. Of August. This is a 4-week month. We issued just a bit over 58,000. 19 families, 19 agents actually protected families. If we continue to go on that pace, if not faster, that means we'll issue 230,000+, which means we will issue more in a 4-week month than we did in July, which was a 5-week month. So if you guys have any questions about how to read these forms or anything like that, let us know. I will also get this put out there on our Slack line as well. To wrap this up, you guys, yesterday, 8 agents protected families yesterday. Kathy Libra, 336. Anthony Jones, 417. Myself, 606. Gregory Pitts, 658. Mark Williams, 775 to continue his string. Chester Fantroy, well done there. And I appreciate you putting that picture out there. I don't know if you were in a dark room taking pictures or what, but that was a crazy looking red filter, but congratulations, Chester. Pretty cool.
No, the whole room was red like that.
You took that picture and I'm like, what in the heck is that all about? Well done. Mariana Belo, 1675, and Tim Belo leading the charge as usual, 2233 with 2 families protected. Just so you guys know, I know we post this every week, but I know we have new people on here. We'll make sure everybody understands what they're doing as they're building their business. There's levels to this, right? So at the bottom, if you sell or protect 10 families or on average, and you issue pay you're a bronze level producer for either that month or that week. So as we mentioned, Kevin is already issue paid over 8,200. Clearly he'll be at minimum, probably this week, a bronze level producer. 15,000 IP stands for issue paid. If you see AP, that's his annualized premium. Okay, hopefully you guys know the difference between those. If you don't, please ask. There are no dumb questions. 10,000 bronze, 15,000 silver, 20,000 gold, etc. You guys hear us talk about this all the time. Americo bonuses, they pay out an 8% bonus if you've issued 45,000, what they call a credit or whatever the case is. It's $45,000 on the books in a 6-month period of time. They pay you out an 8% bonus. And then Mark actually, not to have him share the story again, but was actually hit the bonus because of the 25% credit. And he minds his business, saw it, reached out to the company, realized they actually had made a mistake, and Mark got paid his bonus. So keep that in mind. February 2nd through the 5th, if you haven't registered for convention, please do. It's going to fill up. Guys, they're actually going to be in a baseball stadium, which is absolutely insane. Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. There's going to be 20,000+ people there. I know you think, oh, you got plenty of time. Register beforehand. If you change your mind, make sure you're at least registered. And there's obviously some information we'll put out today about the hotel booking and those kind of things. Last two things that I'll mention, let you guys go. We'll be done on time. You guys know we've opened up our office. I've been talking about it forever. It's finally open. We're finally getting things going. If you're not on work spots, obviously you heard us talking about the 35% discounts, etc. They don't always do that. A lot of the times you have to be on work spots to get the discounts. There's over 200 offices now across the country. So that gets you access to any office anywhere across the country. So Gregory, if you're in Atlanta or anywhere remotely close to there, if you guys are doing travel trips and that stuff, it gives you an opportunity to go to an office, be a part of a winning environment. I will tell you, yes.
One question on that, Corey.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So I just got into there. Can I take someone with me one time? Like if I took Chester with me, would that be okay or no?
I would make sure the site. So I'm the site administrator for my office. I would reach out through the app and let them know, hey, I have a new agent. I just want him to see the office and that kind of stuff. I will tell you, Gregory, though, that's per site administrator. They don't want us doing that. And here's why. You will have some people, squatters, try to come in and just not, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to get something for free. But if you're going to bring them in and show them the spot, they're perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine with it.
Okay. All right.
You guys would, a great question, by the way, because we had that happen in St. Louis. But for those of you guys, on our team, if you're signing up for work spots, make St. Louis your location. It would be appreciated because all that money's going back into our agency in reference to, I got something pretty cool we're going to put together by the end of the year. Gifts and just all kinds of stuff that we're getting ready to do. The trophies and the tumblers, and obviously all those things cost money. If you guys would make us a part of your, if you're going to sign up for work spots, pick St. Louis, we would be grateful. Last thing, you guys are going to hear us talking about this a lot. Asking for referrals. Asking for referrals is the simplest way to build your business. It really, truly is. And if you go out and you're seeing 10 to 15 families a week or more, and you get 2 or 3 names from each one of them of people that they know and trust, and now they trust you, that they gave you that information. Think about that. If you got 2 to 3 to 5 from every single family that you sat with, in a year, you'd have a straight referral business. And then you don't have to worry about buying leads and all that kinds of stuff. So I'm going to swing back to our leadership, if you will, to see if they have any key action ideas. Gregory, I know that's going to put a smile on your face before I let you guys go. Anybody that's still on. So Gregory, we'll come back to you. Any key action idea that you would share from either the meeting today or in general?
Very important.
Activity, my man.
What do you say?
I don't know.
Activity.
Oh, yeah. One good thing, and I see that Chester is watching the videos, because in the videos, it tells you right before you get into that application good with your client, make sure you call your associate person that you're working with. I'm going to say upline or boss, but make sure that you call somebody to ask them if what you're doing is right. So Chester called me yesterday, and we went through, okay, what did he want? What did he do? It was like one thing that he had missed. I said, well, what about this? Oh, I forgot about that. Get it, boom, went right through the application, and you see the result of it. So make sure you call that somebody who's been doing this for a while, just to make sure that you have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted.
That's well said. I had an agent call yesterday. You guys will appreciate this. You have the resources, use them. Use them. Seriously, use them. If your partner is not there, call the Velocity in-home helpline. If you can't get them, I don't give a crap. Call me. But don't go in a home and quote unquote make a mistake. As long as they're covered and you're covered, that's okay, right? They agree to the premium, all those other things. But if you're sitting here and you don't know and you don't pick up the phone and call, that's on you. You have here at Genesis, you have the resources. You have the people that will help you if you'll pick up the phone. We had an agent yesterday that went in a home, didn't call, left the home, then called me. And when the person called, we're having a conversation. I'm like, all you got to do is do this. Now, you guys know, what are the chances of that agent getting back in with that person to make that sale? It's probably slim to none, right? When they could have just done it right there. Pick up the phone and please pick up the phone and call, guys. That's why we're here. If you guys don't have my phone number, I'll put it on Slack when we get done so you have it. All right. Thank you, Gregory. Tim, any key action idea that you would like to share from our meeting today or in general for our team? Mark, I'm coming to you next, buddy.
Yeah, guys, just become a student. That's all. I mean, you know, I love watching TV, but you know what? CBS, NBC is not going to take care of your family, you know, so get out there, get this thing done, and, you know, just create a lifestyle and, you know, go out there and design the life that you want instead of being in somebody else's design.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tim. Mark, take us home.
Okay, a couple things. If you have new recruits coming on board, be there for them 24/7. Jeff Scott just got back from vacation this week, and he's running wild. He literally will we'll go through a rundown on every call he's got before he goes in there, age, health, this and that, and come up with strategy every one. And he's having success. He's been writing business all week. He's running 4 appointments today. So my point is just be there for your people. Don't leave them hanging. Just like our folks did for us when we came on board, do the same for them to help grow your team and be successful. One other thing I started doing this week that's helping me a little bit is I used to always schedule my appointments an hour and a half apart. I've moved to 1 hour, and that seems to be helping. I'm getting more in a day, obviously, and no shows aren't as much of a day wrecker as they were before. I can move on to the next one and not have a problem. So that's about it.
Good stuff, Mark. Appreciate it. Guys, we're a little bit over. You guys know I like being respectful of your time. Thank you, all of you guys. You guys could have jumped off at any time. All of you guys stayed on. It's much appreciated. Amy, before we go, anything administrative other than making sure everybody's got their stuff at HCMS?
No, as usual.
Appreciate it. Thank you for all you do. Guys, stay safe out there. Have fun. Weekend warrior time. Thank you guys for being on. Hope you picked up some stuff from Josh and Tori. And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. Thank you.